everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Evergreen Inks, or my name is Michaela, and this is Evergreen Inks. Today I'm doing a full flip through of my A6 Traveler's Notebook. If you saw my recent video with my standard Traveler's Notebook, it's basically that, just slimmed down to A6 size. I wanted to switch down because I got a diaper bag that is smaller, which I love. I love not carrying the huge diaper bag around and carrying only what I need. And I had originally purchased that diaper bag because it did fit my standard Traveler's Notebook. However, there was one or two more things that I really thought that I needed to carry for my baby that required the space that I had set aside for standard. So I ended up switching down to A6. I already had everything that I needed to switch down to A6, so it was not a costly switch for me in terms of money. It is a costly switch in terms of time, I will admit that. And I haven't even finished switching over. I haven't written out my monthly events. I've done nearly nothing except fill out the physical things, or cut down the physical things. But I know that this is a unusual Traveler's Notebook size. So if you were inspired to also move into A6, that it has a higher price point than, let's say, standard or passport, because those are the traditional sizes. I will give you the details of this cover. I will help you order it if you choose to. It was a very expensive cover for me to request from VanderSpec. It is based on the standard Special Nomad that VanderSpec has, which is basically their Nomad with a large back pocket, wallet slots, and a clasp. And then I had a few additional things that I want added. I wanted like the front slip pocket as well, and a double popper. So I'll give you all those details, but just know that this is not a cheap solution. If you wanted basically this setup but at a more reasonable price point, I would probably suggest the A6 Codex or notebook cover from Moterm, and then punching your own holes and threading your own elastics through the leather, because it is a notebook cover with a big back pocket. It has credit card slots. I think they're at the front, not the back. And the only thing you'd have to do is poke 2 holes and thread 4 elastics through. The person that I know that did this the most recently is Anna from Journaling Home, so I would suggest looking at her Instagram account because she's currently in A6 as well. And that is a much cheaper option than this cover. I think this cover was upwards of $400 when I ordered this back in the fall. And this is not something that I'd probably order now with the way things are changing currently in the economic hemisphere. But anyway, moving along from that, this is from VanderSpec. It is the color JL Avocado. I've been only using it for about a week, so the patina is not there yet. I did spray it with Apple Guard, as I mentioned in my last video if you saw it. I do have an A4 clasp on this cover. It is an extended length because I have both the front slip pocket and the double poppers. I kept my corners rounded. This is based on the Special Nomad, which means it has the Nomad layout configuration here It has a wallet inserts in the back, a secretarial pocket back here, and then the large back pocket here. On the strings, I have 4 inserts wrapped around them. I have one dashboard from Chic Sparrow that I cut and then extended with packing tape a la Inkimperfections. And then that's where I like keep decorations and stuff. And I feel like it protects my inserts as well. In these front pockets, I have some blank paper for scratch notes. I have stamps. I have a thank you card here. I keep my paint samples from the main rooms of my house here in case I wanted to buy decorations, which I'm not doing right now, but I have them here in case I choose to make sure that they match. When we get one of our big paintings set and framed, knowing the paint color of the room that it's going in will be useful. I had those floating around my purse before, but since moving into a diaper bag, it doesn't really seem like a great thing to have like just flying around. In this pocket, I have my stencil from Watch Becca Plan on Instagram. She does have a stencil shop, and this is her Becca's Favorites stencil. I use these icons mostly in my month on 2 pages to indicate different types of events. And then I have a letter from my husband in this pocket as well. Here I have a This Planner Belongs To. I have a straight edge. And then I have, I think, some more stamps in this one, and then a gloomy from Meg Rhiannon. It's just like a little reminder. Here I have a few reminders, like, did you repack the diaper bag? I tried to repack the diaper bag after an outing, day of, so that I'm not trying to scramble around and pack that while also trying to get out the door. And then under here I have things like don't forget to do to keep yourself sane. And then on the other side I have another gloomy. I have some stickers that have traveled around with me for a couple years. I have my In Case of Emergency card here with some important information. This is a cut down standard TN clear PVC. It's not the normal PVC because it has 2 I'm going to say zip, but they're not zip necessarily, zip pouches. And also it had 2 like pockets here as well. It was an extra from when I ordered my husband's standard bullet journal inserts off of Etsy. And I cut it down, and he already had one, so he didn't need it. And basically in it I keep some photos here. In this zip pocket I keep some of Meg Rhiannon's artwork and stickers that I cut down. Sometimes I decorate with them. I don't really have time at the moment. I keep my date stickers here, and then I keep my dot stickers and like icon stickers in this back one. And then on the other side I have a photo of baby Evergreen. And then I have my routine cards. This one's my prayer routine, and then I have my weekly cleaning and my daily routines. And then in this pocket I have my current month's subscription for the Coffee Monsters Co. She had monthly kits for Black Friday, and I bought all of them for the year. These 2 routines need to be modified now that life has changed, but I have not had the time or the energy to figure out those routines, let alone recreate them. So they're just hanging out for now, and that's kind of why I put them on those sides, because I'm not necessarily looking at them. I have this ollie clip here because this is my 3rd insert, my bullet journal. It kind of like the cardboard gets caught on this zipper pouch here, So to kind of help prevent that, I've put this ollie clip to kind of lift away from that, and it's been helping. So let's do inserts chronologically. This first insert is my month on 2 pages. It is the month on 2 pages from Paper and Cats. It is the 18-month undated Sunday Start one. She's not open anymore, so you can't get this, but it's just a basic month on 2 pages that I have a scrapbook paper wrapped around. And then I put my own 2025 year at a glance freebie here. I have it in Sunday and Monday Start, and it's free on my Patreon if you're interested. It's the green scale. This here, so these 2 pages that are wrapped behind the start of my monthly are a custom from PeanutsPlannerCo. PeanutsPlannerCo opened customs recently, and I saw that they had opened them. And there are a few things that I needed to feel comfortable to switch down to this size in terms of inserts that I was able to find in standard TN, because standard is much more prevalent than A6. And I didn't really want to necessarily draw them out bullet journal style. And so Vivara made them for me, and they're beautiful. And the first one is basically a quarterly breakdown that I'm using for Evergreen Ink's blog and video planning. And then on the opposite side is basically 2 blank pages of grid in case I needed brain dump space. I need to print one more set of these out. And then I have them on the other side as well. So basically, let me just show you. Oh, it would be back here, wouldn't it? It would be further. Pardon me while I figure this out. I have loose papers in here as well. So yeah, you have it back here as well, because I like threaded it through. So I don't know if I will move like the next 3 months here for Evergreen Inks, or if I'll use this for something different. Not necessarily sure yet, but I have it and it's undated, so I can use it for whatever I want, which is phenomenal. Then yes, I have my months. I have personally dated all the way through December, and then I have through June of 2026. Let me just show you. And I'd like to date these too, but they are less urgent for now, because I haven't even transferred over my events yet. So through June of 2026. And then next I have, this is basically future planning for 2026. I guess I don't necessarily need January through June unless there was something that wasn't necessarily scheduled. It was just soft mentioned. And then I have July through December as well. These are trip planner inserts from PeanutsPlannerCo. They are her A6 rings one that I just like cut off the extra on the side, and if we have trips that we need to plan, I have that here. Basically, let's see, I'm in May. I need, there we go. And yeah, and then here would be my 2026 year at a glance that I have. I just haven't printed it out yet. This next insert is my habit tracker insert, also from Paper and Cats. It's the one that Amanda Inkimperfections created. Again, I have the digital. Her shop is closed. I can't recommend it, but I can't. Would recommend it, but I can't because she's closed. Here I have daily cleaning and personal habits. This I haven't decided what to use for. I don't know necessarily what to use it for. In the past, I've used it for gratitude. I don't necessarily know yet and we're already on I think it's the 7th of May. Here I have weekly cleaning, monthly cleaning, and projects. Weekly cleaning is things that I want to do weekly, of course. These are the things that I want to do monthly. Mattress pads are twice a month, so that's why that little line is there. I try to do 1 or 2 of these things a week, and then I just write the day that they're done so that when I go to the next month, I can see, oh, mattress pads were done on the 1st and the blah, blah, blah. They need to be done again, that kind of thing. And I have enough for the rest of the year in here. In the middle, this is my budget overview insert. This is the second of the 3 inserts that I had Bavara make for me. It's based on her budget overview that's already in her shop. I just added a calendar here. And then on the opposite side, I have a blank page for notes. And here I have a check register. I'm still working on how I want to use it because my husband and I do track our finances digitally because he's kind of our finance ringmaster, but I do want a record of them to kind of keep as well. Basically, I want to use icon stickers for major bills or paydays here with the details of those things in here, and then have a income, expenses, and savings total. Basically, income minus expenses should be savings in theory. And yes, and I'm trying to keep like personal spending or details about like bill breakdowns in my check register. So for example, like groceries are going to be on a credit card and that would be under bills, but how much did we spend on groceries in a week, that would go here because it's not technically something that we're paying outright because it's on a credit card bill that comes once a month, that kind of thing. So kind of breaking these down in more details even further here. And then if I had any other notes that I'd like, or maybe like the check register is not enough for a month, I can have further notes here. So more to come on that. That's basically what I think I want for this. It seems very simple and something that I can keep up with. But I'm still thinking on it, if that makes sense. In the back of my habit tracker, I have reoccurring tasks. So these are tasks like my when did we last task. So when did we last change the filters on the cat water filter? When did we last descale our Keurig? When did we last clean out the HVAC or change the filters? When did we last have an oil change, rotate our tires, that kind of thing? And those are here. And then on this one is yearly bill trackers. So I'm thinking insurance, like did we pay the insurance? Did we pay tithe this year? That kind of thing. So it's more of a checkbox than a log, when the log is, here. I don't know if there's going to be things here that aren't here. I don't know. This might be, and also, but like subscriptions too. Like, did we pay our subscription for XYZ? I don't know if this is duplication of this. I'm not positive. We'll see. But at the very least, I think I would remove this in favor of this because this is easier to check off. And this is something that I have to set up every month. We'll see. Not necessarily sure, but that's what I've got. This third insert is my bullet journal insert. Very a la Inkimperfections. My whole system is very a la Inkimperfections, if you haven't noticed. So if you have a question on how I do something, she's probably already covered it in a video. I feel like I say that every time, but also I've been doing a version of her planning since 2021 when I first switched into A6 rings. Even the way that I organize my ring inserts is very a la Inkimperfections. organize the routines that I have. It's very much based on her system because her system is the first thing that I found that really, really worked for me. So yes, if this feels like a mimicry of her, it very much is. And I apologize for that if that offends you or bores you or whatever. This is a 160-page dot grid from PeanutsPlannerCo. I have Tomoe River paper. This is the Sanzen Tomoe River paper. It is 4mm dot grid. And I asked for unrounded corners because they come rounded. And I buy about 4 of these a year because it takes me about 3 or 4 months to go through one at a time. If I had 5mm grid, it would take me a lot less time. But yeah, I'm consistent about 3 or 4 months. This one might take me 6 because I'm not going very fast, but that's okay. I usually leave this page blank for kind of like a seasonal, this is the month that this notebook ranged through kind of thing. I intend to put my April review and May planning, like May Providence in here, the review prompts, but I haven't gotten to it. And then this is the first week that I've been in this planner. And so this is kind of the weekly overview spread that I've kind of come up with for my bullet journal. Because I loved the rolling weekly in rings so much, but also felt like I needed like major events, I kind of mixed both of those into this spread. So I do have a rolling weekly here. My tasks would go here. It's Wednesday and I haven't even written much anything down. Events go here, or like major tasks that have to be done on a certain day. But what I would consider a major task is like pick up the grocery order that you have. Any other scheduled tasks, I would just put in the rolling weekly and then put a dot on the day that it's scheduled. So for example, making a video go public on YouTube. That's something that I physically do and I schedule it. And if I said, oh, that's going to happen on Friday, I'd put a dot on Friday under that task, and then I'd cross it off when I actually do it, if that makes sense. And then down here, I have just the meals that we have soft planned, and then I cross it off when it happens. Because we're not doing very much planning, and we also have a lot of people giving us a lot of food right now, which is phenomenal. Okay, and then these are my dailies, and what I've been doing, I don't know if I showed you in my standard, but what I've been doing is drawing a line, as you can see, drawing a line down the page, and to the left of this line is my icons, my bullet journal icons, and then under the heading I would also do like the holidays if I felt like it, so like Cinco de Mayo or like May the 4th. If I had the energy, I'd put it right under the date. I also take notes on tasks or notes here. So if I had a task and I did it and I'd already like made another note like down rapid logging, I could add like notes about that task here if I so chose. And I really love this. Another reason that I really love this style is A6 is very square. I think bullet journaling lends itself to more vertical. And as soon as I draw this line, the space that I'm working with is more vertical and like a rectangular page space. Does it waste space? Perhaps. But I also think it makes it a little bit neater for my own sanity to be able to see things this way. And it's something new, so I'm enjoying it. But as you can see, I only have, like I've only been in A6 size since the beginning of the week. So, and then Also, like Inkimperfections, I do have some action categories that I work back to front on. I have Someday Maybe, Waiting On, Prayer List, Evergreen Inks things. So if I have an idea for like an Instagram post, I list that here. Other tasks, other things. Anything, these lists are basically things, they are topics for lists of tasks of things that are non-urgent. So if I said for Evergreen Inks, I recently posted a like open bag view of my diaper bag with the A6 planner, and I wrote that down in my standard because it's not something that's urgent, it's not something that's scheduled, it's something that I can do when I get around to it, and that's basically what these lists are for. Someday Maybe is someday I hopefully will get to this. So I said, for example, we want to hang and frame a photo that we have. That would go here because it's non-urgent, it's kind of costly, and it takes like multiple steps and probably would be a project. So it's something that I hope someday happens, but it's not something that I could even do next week or the week after. Waiting On is things or people that I'm waiting on, So orders, like online orders or planner things, they do go on this list here. But if I'm waiting on, let's say, insurance to do XYZ, I put that back here because they might not get to it this week. I might have to rebug them, I guess, next week. And it's not a task that can be completed. And it's not a task that can be completed by me. It's something that I'm waiting on from somebody else. That's usually outside of my immediate family. So like I wouldn't put things that I'm waiting on my husband to do here. Again, Evergreen Inks, things to do in my office or on my laptop. So things like editing YouTube videos or writing blog posts. That goes in Evergreen Inks, but that's why computer is right next to it, because a lot of things that I do for social media, I do at my computer. Next is home lists. So I do usually have a sticky note here. Hold on one second. I have chocolate. I was eating chocolate over writing these out. And that's just going to be a memento, I guess, of this notebook. I do keep a sticky note for home shopping. So if I have like, I need to pick up dryer sheets, I will write that here because usually my notebook is next to me when I'm thinking about it. Or it usually goes in my like bullet journal pages too, sometimes if I think about it. But if I have the wherewithal, I'll write it here. And then I look at this list when I'm doing shopping, grocery or Costco or whatever. Things to talk to my husband about are here. Things for the baby are here. And things that are like next action, this is a catch-all for everything else. So these are usually things for me. So things that I can do next go here. What's an example? I don't even have one to tell you, but things that I am capable of doing next, but don't necessarily have to get done this week, go here. I do look at this list every couple of days, so sometimes I move tasks from this list to either my daily pages or my weekly task list. I try to keep my weekly task list as small as possible. It's usually things that have to get done this week. Have to. Which right now is not very much. Eating, sleeping, caring for a young one. Anything else is kind of auxiliary and would go here. And then this is where I want to put like a little index of where all of these things are. This was we had an appointment this week. And these are some notes that I was taking for that appointment, the address, where to park, that kind of thing, things to do to prep for that appointment. I had this sticky note up front on my weekly, and since it's not Tuesday anymore, I kind of moved it back here. All of these sticky notes are currently still in my standard, so I want to move them over. But basically, the rest of these pages that I'd work back to front are any other lists that I need. So if I have a phone call that I'm taking or that I'm making, and I don't want to write the notes in my daily pages necessarily, because I need to like reference those notes more often than just on that day, I would probably turn to the back here and just use this as like scratch pad notes. And that's how I work backward, and then I do the daily pages and the weekly overview frontward, and I kind of meet in the middle, and then when I meet in the middle is when I switch to a new notebook. Generally, the notes, like the scratch notes here, I do not need to transfer anywhere. If I need to, I generally try to do that during my weekly review, that kind of thing. So, and then this last insert is all of the information that I need cross notebook and cross years, and I don't want to transfer it because these notebooks only last me 3 to 4 months. There's a lot of information like insurance information or doctor information that I want to keep with me at all times, but I don't want to rewrite it all the time, especially because this is only in 160 pages. If I rewrote this much information, every notebook, a third of the notebook probably would be taken up with that information, and it'd probably take me the entire 3 months to rewrite it. Do you know what I mean? So it's just more convenient for me to have my long-term reference information and collections in a separate insert so that it's always on hand, it's always filled out. I don't have to exhaustively keep transferring that stuff. I will do a separate video on this because that would take a long time to go through, and it's also like personal information. Here's the back of that dashboard, and then here's all my wallet information. I have a straight edge here, and then I have health logs for myself and the little one. And then back here I have important documents. And that's about it. And then the back of my planner looks like that. And that's the planner. In the description box, I will tell you the details of ordering this. As I said at the beginning, if you choose to, it is expensive. I will also list where I get the major items that I talked about, like inserts, and that kind of thing. If you have any other questions of where something is from, please let me know. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. And again, if you have requests for YouTube videos, I will take those requests and try to make those a bigger priority. The next video that I will record and upload is my reference notebook, because I think it's important to do. My reference notebook is the same reference information that I've had in my ring systems and in my standard. I would say this iteration of standard, because life has changed so much since the last time I used standard in 2022 and 2023. But I do want it there for like information's sake, so that I can just send someone to that video if they have questions. But yeah, after the reference notebook video, I'm kind of free for all. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. And I will try to record more. It's still kind of all over the place. So I'm not going to say I have a good routine yet, even though I want one. But yeah, let me know what you think. Please leave nice comments, and I will see you all next time. Bye.